Sprite Castle. Sprite Castle. Sprite Castle.
Mr. Rob O'Hara.
Sprite Castle.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sprite Castle. On today's show, I'm going to be playing the Yie Ar Kung-Fu, the classic beat-em-up game from 1985. The arcade game and the Commodore 64 version were both released in 1985. The arcade version was released by Konami. There are two versions for the Commodore 64. The first was released by Imagine, and I believe that is the UK release. That was followed by a release that was actually done by Konami in 1985 in the US. This is the Imagine version. The reason I'm playing the Imagine version, as you can see, if you can make out this 405 number here on the high score, is that many of the games that I'm playing right now are from my original Commodore 64 discs that were back in the 1980s. I have gone through and converted almost all of them to D64 disc images using a variety of different methods, including, I started back with the 1541-2 or the X1541 cables. I have since moved to the Zoom floppy, and any transfers I do now, pretty much I do with the 1541 Ultimate. But anyway, enough technical mumbo jumbo. Let's get to the butt kicking here with this classic Konami fighting game, Yie Ar Kung-Fu. As you see here, it's one or two players, and it's just people alternating. You don't fight against each other. And you press the fire button, and on the first set of enemies here, you can see there are 5 enemies. Oh, and again, I have started off with a disadvantage with my joystick in the wrong port, but I'm going to make a comeback here. I am a big fan of Yie Ar Kung-Fu, the arcade version. I played it a lot, and so I was also a fan of this version. This version is pretty similar, but there are some definite weaknesses in the enemies that you fight. The one thing that makes this version a little bit easier than the arcade version is, for example, on that attack, which is up in the button, you can just pretty much hold it, and you will just flying kick chase people across the screen. I'm doing nothing right now but holding the joystick up and the button down. Oop, better turn around here, though. And you will just follow your opponent around the screen. I'm not even changing directions. He just kind of does that automatically. So absolutely no skill that I am displaying here at this point. The arcade version of Yie Ar Kung-Fu has a 8-way joystick and 2 buttons, a punch and a kick button. The Commodore 64, because it uses the DB9 style of joystick, I'm going to change up my technique here a little bit. Now, I tell you what, there are, just like the arcade version, some of these guys can pin you down in a way that you cannot escape, and you will find yourself very dead very quickly. Pull is one of those opponents like that. I can't move, and now I'm dead. So since the Commodore only has one fire button, it just kind of depends on your distance away and how you're holding the joystick as to, if you get pinned down in the corner by pull. Pull is a pain in the butt to beat. I don't know if you could see that by this version here. Alright, let's see what we can do here. This is going to be embarrassing if this version of Sprite Castle ends with me not beating pull. That would be terrible. I really want to show you the second level. So we'll do it. Oh no, pull! The old pull to the chin attack. Anyway, you can see, once again, the Commodore version of Yie Ar Kung-Fu is a little bit nicer looking than some of the other versions. You have a full screen background, and you got a guy with a pole that won't let me move. You have a waterfall, moving waterfall there in the back. An excellent sound, excellent music. God dang. It's really quite ridiculous. Really. I don't know what else to say. Let's try a different technique here. So this is the old arcade technique that I used to use. Just try not to get pinned down by pull. And this is called the strike and move technique. Kind of like, I was going to say something dirty, but let's just, it's Speaking of something dirty, there's the old pull to the crotch trick. Game over, player one. Well, oh yeah, I do get a high score. Here we go. I'm not sure if this saves high scores because I'm sure I've done better than that in the past. Let's see if I can find if there's a end. I hate high score things that do this where there's no end button, where you just have to wait for time to run out. So Yie Ar Kung-Fu, we're going to try one more time to make a run and get to the second play field because great sound. Commodore always had great sound. I love the chords. I love the I don't know, just there's something about it that it really takes me back. This is Buchu, I believe. Oh, who just ruined my perfect. Buchu's going to get the flying kick technique here. He's really not a difficult opponent, except for when I'm kicking off the side for no reason over there. This is definitely before, well, it's after Karate Champ, which I think of as the first fighting game that actually employed some strategy. No strategy there. I just kicked a lady in the belly 8 times or 10 times or whatever. My strategy is for her not to call the police on me, I guess. This guy, if you actually try to fight him fair, he is kind of difficult. If you can catch him with the toe kicks, it works pretty good. If you try to just approach him head on, his nunchucks have just a little bit further reach. Let's finish him off here the old-fashioned way here with the old flying kick. I wish I could do that in real life. I would just walk around the store, just flying kicks everywhere. You need something, sir? Yeah, I'm just getting some milk. Wah, wah. All right, come on, Pole. Let's see if I can avoid his little... Like I said, I don't mind fight. God, look, and now I get perfect. Perfect on Pole. There are... Oh, so this is... I forgot we don't have... Oh, here we go, level... Well, this is the second... Not level 2, but the slightly different play field here. Chain, this guy... The hardest thing about Chain is if he gets you all the way across the screen and the chain hits you, you take multiple hits. So you really have to go through him. This is where stuff gets real, as the kids say. On level 2 here, some of these guys are not as difficult. This club guy is not... I don't think you can actually beat him doing this, but that's a good technique too, is to jump, and then when you're overlapped, you can usually get in the old foot kick there. And if I'm trade hits with this guy, you'll lose. Yeah. So Fan, Sword, Tonfu, and then Blues. Blues on this version is nearly impossible. It's very, very hard. It's harder than the arcade version. I can actually get further in the arcade version than I can in the Commodore version for some reason. Also, your name in this game is Oolong, which, you know, it's... Oh, wow. I should have been paying attention. Her fans come so fast on this version. It's much more difficult than Star. So, people call me Rob, and people sometimes, when I'm at computer-type things, call me Flack. But if you would like to start calling me Oolong, that's the thing about these fans, too. Oh, no. Yeah, you gotta really pin her down in one spot. Or Fan will blow the life out of you. A little fan joke there. I should really pre-write some jokes for this show rather than coming up with bad ones, as I'm multitasking here and getting beat up by a lady throwing fans. Come on, Oolong. I want to get killed by Sword, who will most likely kill me. Sword is very difficult. Sword is like Pole, except for he's faster, and so he's very difficult. This is not working. That's another thing about these are like heat-seeking fans. They don't, you know, the arcade version they twirl around and you could kind of avoid them or whatever. But in this version, no, they just go right to you. It's very, very hard to beat her, and especially because they come so fast. Yep. Oh, it's been a long day for somebody, and that's me. Guy's had multiple fans on his crotch, apparently. All right, let's see what we can do here. Jeez, yeah. See the as you can see. I don't know why I would tell you it's difficult. You can obviously see me getting my butt kicked here by a fan-throwing lady. Named Fan, which seems appropriate. Like, you wonder if Fan is a nickname? Like, after she threw so many fans, people started calling her Fan? Or maybe that was like her destiny. Like, she was born with the name Fan, and she learned this skill based on, it was like the prophecy, you know, it was her, I don't know. I'm really just rambling because I'm not focusing on playing it. Yeah, looks like we got one oolong left. And there's a oolong shot that I will beat Fan, so stay tuned, folks. Jokes are getting worse as the show goes on. Oh, golly, this lady with her fans. Maybe it's just hot. She's trying to cool me down and throwing fans at me. I wish she'd just throw a box fan at me and just put me out of my misery there. Speaking of out of misery, that looks like both of us will be out of misery. Me for playing this very difficult game, and you for watching me play it. So that will pretty much conclude another episode of Sprite Castle. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. That's my Donkey Kong phone. Oh, look, I put the little arrow on the last one, too. So, this is Yie Ar Kung-Fu for the Commodore 64. Very fun game, very difficult when you get into the higher levels. A lot more on, I don't know, there's a lot of cheap deaths in this game. I mean, you saw with Poe. Sword later on does the same thing. He just pins you down, and that's all she wrote. So, anyway, thanks for watching another episode of Sprite Castle. If you like this and other retro-themed podcasts, be sure to check out throwbacknetwork.net, where this and lots of other retro shows can be found. So, thanks for tuning in. If you want to subscribe to an RSS feed to follow these, you can find that at spritecastle.com. Also, if you have any suggestions about future games you'd like to see me play, you can tweet them to me at my Twitter account, which is just at Commodore, Commodork, or you can email them to me at spritecastle@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.